Greetings and salutations, Dave, or I guess technically I should call you Dead on Dave. This is Christopher Daniels.
Hey everyone, it's the Native American Tonka. Want to give a big shout out to Dead on Dave.
Dave, this is Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Dead on Dave. What's up, man? It's the coach.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it. Dead on Productions. Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, and welcome to another Wrestling Reportedly. That's right, Wrestling Reportedly, the show where we talk about all the things that are in the news that are being reported by all you actual wrestling journalists out there, which I'm certainly not one of. But I love to talk about your bullshit, and we got a good one. A rather unsubstantiated claim. Everyone's reporting it. All of the major sites, 411 Mania, WrestlingInc.com, which is where I trust most, by the way. Usually when WrestlingInc.com is on it, there's usually some good merit to it. They do tend to be Meltzer heavy, but still, that's okay. I will overlook that. Regardless, everybody's reporting that we have another Backstage Donnybrook, another fight, another clash of wrestling aggression. Yes, happened backstage, and it's with two repeat offenders. Chris Jericho, who earlier this year got into a nice little scuffle with Brock Lesnar. There's really not a report of what happened in that fight, but I'm pretty sure Brock would have flicked him and Jericho would have flew across the room. But that's just, my dramatization in my head of what happened. But regardless, this is his second altercation, and it's with somebody who is also a repeat fisticuff man from this year. He got into a fight with Simon Gotch earlier this year, and that, of course, I'm talking about Sin Cara. And all the reports that are going around, reportedly, of course, that Sin Cara remains undefeated Backstage champion. Now, as you know, Sin Cara is actually Hunico, who has been on the independent scene and in WWE now for a long time. He's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. I mean, apparently Hunico can throw hands, because now not only did he obviously clearly win the fight with Simon Gotch, who had to come out on camera with a nice shiner. The reports going on right now is that Chris Jericho got knocked the bleep out. I mean, drooling, Sleep City, the whole shebang. Bow, good night, bow, bow, right in the kisser. Apparently that's what happened. The reports are going around like this. During their overseas tour in England, both superstars who were at live events in England got into a fight, and MLW Radio indicated on their Twitter that Jericho was knocked out. This is where the report's coming from. This is in quotations on their Twitter, MLW Radio. Hunico remains undefeated as WWE Locker Room refuses to accept this man as the baddest man on the planet. Hashtag Y2J KO'd. Oh, Justin LaBar also reported on the fight. Hearing backstage, hashtag WWE fight took place overseas involving repeat offender, having doubts on if he has the leverage to work in his favor. Yeah, it's crazy to think of the ramifications of this potential fight, because Simon Gotch, you can get away with, I think. Most people aren't going to give a shit. In fact, Simon Gotch seemed to be taken off television after the fight for a little while. Now, it could have been because of the shiner, or it could have been because he was starting shit and got his bitch ass smacked down. Who knows? But with Jericho, you're talking about a veteran who, while can be fiery, he's also unbelievably respected, and he doesn't seem to do things just to do them. So it might be a little bit more difficult to get the benefit of the doubt, especially if you started it with Chris. Now, of course, all of these reported things that are going on, you have to tell the other side of it, and from Chris Jericho's perspective, at the very least, he's no dummy. Now, Chris more than likely heard these reports. And what does Chris Jericho do? he sends out an Instagram video. So, and in the Instagram video, his eyes do look watery and welled, but there are no visible marks on his face. It's a weird video, but still very, very strange that there are no marks, no nothing. But then again, if you take one on the chin, you're not necessarily going to have a mark. We've seen it before in other actual real life fights. You don't necessarily need to have a mark on your face to get knocked the fuck out. So who knows what actually happened. But it's smart by Jericho to do that, to kind of diffuse the situation and just kind of poke fun of it, if that's what he's doing. It is Chris Jericho's MO. I almost said MMAO, which would have been really great if I would have meant to do it. But I wouldn't have, so it just makes me a stuttery goof. But still, it's going to be interesting. Chris Jericho did cop to the fight with Lesnar. He made no qualms about it. He had no problem talking about what happened. Will he do the same with this, especially if he was knocked the hell out by Sin Cara? It's going to be interesting to see what happens with these guys. Sin Cara is barely hanging onto the roster at this point anyway, with no clear direction. No, it looked like he was going to get the first major feud with Braun Strowman. That was dropped. Now he's working with random cruiserweights. Who knows what's going to happen? Here's the reality that we do know. You mess with a guy like Jericho, Backstage is going to have some ramifications, because Jericho is one of the hottest things going for the company right now, creating new slogans, new catchphrases, and helping, and some might even say overshadowing, Kevin Owens a bit in the world title picture. Universal title picture. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens going forward between these two, if anything at all. More reports, I'm sure, will come out. And if they're retarded enough, I'll talk about them, because I love talking about all that reported news. But at least there is a little bit more information about this one than some of the other reports that come out. So what do you guys think? Did a fight happen between Jericho and Sin Cara? And do you think that Sin Cara actually knocked out the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, baby? What do you guys think? Put it in the comments section, or better yet, hit me up on Twitter at ThatOnDaveV. We're over 1,000 Twitter followers now. Holy shit. We're legit. We're getting there. And if we get to 5,000, that means I can get my badass merchandise. Not this. This isn't mine. But I do have some copious gear somewhere around here. I can get that on WrestlingTees.com. So help me continue to support, and we will get there together. We'll take our hands and walk up the mountain together, folks. Thank you very much for joining me right here on Wrestling Reportedly on Dead on Dave Productions. We'll see you tonight. If you're watching this on a Monday, we'll be live tonight, Monday Night Raw, for your Monday Night Raw review. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends like all those bad mammer jammers on my main page in the featured channels list. Jeff Huffman, Grand Slam 87, Tommy C, Shaw from The Point, Jay Davis, Real Talk Metaphor Messiah. They're all there, and they're all amazing. Go check them out. Greatly appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious, and peace.